Welcome back. So now that we did the energy of our business that we played with yesterday, today I wanted to play a little bit more in like what your business would actually like to be. So maybe you already know, and maybe you kind of saw this and you're like, yes, I want to start a business. It's this kind of business, and this is the thing that it is, and this is what it does. And I want you to still play with this with me, because anywhere that we've come to conclusion, anywhere that we've decided exactly what something's going to be, we actually create a limitation. So if we were willing to destroy and uncreate all of that, start fresh with me. And that's not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't have to get rid of your current business idea. Just play in this a little bit, because it may even contribute to what your business already is and already is becoming, and like what parts of your business are fun for you, and maybe what parts of your business you might would like to have somebody else do for you. So I want you to really look at like, what is it that you love to do? And this isn't what you love to do in business. This is what you love to do. So like in life, in your world, if you could have a day where you did absolutely anything that you want to do. So it's, I was talking yesterday to a teenage client about like the Yes Day movie, and I haven't actually seen the movie, but from what I understand, there's like this premise that, you have a day where like the parents like say yes to anything you want to do. So, I mean, I think there's like parameters and things like that, but I would play with that a little bit for you, even as an adult, of if you could have a day where you did absolutely only things you love to do, like what would that day look like for you? And play with that for a minute. And look at that, because it might be more valuable for some people to actually like write things down and like look at like, okay, what would that be like? What are the things that you absolutely love to do? Like, what is so fun for you? And it doesn't have to do anything with business. And so once you get that, so you make yourself a little list. You can pause this if you want, and just look at like all the things that you just love to spend your time doing, that like you love, that like light up your body and your being, that are so fun for you. And now look at, is there a way to have a business with any of those things? And most people will be like, well, I can't, there's no business of, I don't know, whatever it is they like to do, of like riding their bike, but please get to that, like anything that's fun for you, even if it isn't directly like what your business is contributing to your business. Maybe you get your best ideas riding your bike. Maybe you just are being the most you, and that energy is what's contributing to your business. I find that when I totally set aside my business stuff and I like go do something with my family and we're laughing or we're having fun, or I'm out like for a walk in the woods, or I do something that has nothing to do with my business in like this reality is format, then I'll like come back to my phone and have like 3 new signups for a class, or it's like the energy that you be then becomes this invitation to the world. So don't try to be super logical here, and ask, is there things that I love to do that I actually could have in business, that I could have a business doing, that are fun for me? So like some of the things I think about that I like love to do is I love talking with people, and I kind of hate small talk, right? And so like I look at like, okay, well, how can I, play in that in business and talking to people, but having like real conversations about things that like create something that contributes something in my life and their life. And I really got that. I had a class over the weekend, and a live in-person class, and getting to like hug people and talk to people and learn about their lives, learn about where they were from. Like that was so fun for me. And when I started, it was a bars class. And when I started teaching bars, I was all about like the energy of teaching the bars because of what a contribution the bars have been to my life. And so while that's obviously still a thing, I didn't even think about like the commerce and the talking with people and the communing with people and how much fun that actually is for me. So there might be things that you don't realize. And so start to look at like, what is fun? Do you like tinkering online? Is it fun for you to like build websites? Do you like using like artistic ability things? Like what could you do with that? And be willing to really think outside the box and like look at like, what could I create with this? And be willing to ask for it to show up, because it never shows up the way you think it's going to. And even when we come up with like all of these ideas on what we'd like our business to be, or what we'd like our multiple revenue streams to be, or multiple businesses to be, sometimes we get an idea of like, oh, I could use this thing I love to do for this business. And sometimes we don't. And sometimes if you just start to ask, that's why we did that energy poll yesterday, Because it's like when you start to ask, like, okay, universe, what's it gonna take to have a business that includes communion with people, that includes having fun, that includes joy, that includes, bringing consciousness to the world, or bringing awareness to, issues around the oceans or the trees, or working with children, or whatever it is. Just ask for it to show up, and you have no idea what will happen. So often, somebody ends up like calling you up and being like, oh, hey, I have this like weird thing I'm doing this weekend and I need some extra help. Would you be willing to do it with me? And you have no idea what it is. And that actually like leads you somewhere. Like Gary Douglas was asked to do a channeled massage. He had no idea what that was, but he got that it matched the energy of what he was asking for. And he went and he did it. And that's where the bars came from. It's not like he was like thinking like, oh, I think I need to develop a new personal development system that has to do with touching people's heads and somehow everything in their lives will change. He had no idea what he was asking for. He was just asking for something different and to be a contribution in the world. And that's how the bars showed up. So please get that it isn't always linear and that you don't have to figure it all out right now. Just start asking for like, okay, if I was totally being me and if I was having so much fun and I wanted the energies of all of things I'm asking for in this business, what would it take for that to show up in my life with total ease, joy, and glory? And see what that is. I think about a couple different people I know. I have one amazing being who does a lot of my website work and kind of my back end stuff. And it's so easy for her. And I can ask her to do something for me and it's done in like 10 minutes. And she's like, here you go. And it's like something spectacular. Where there was a time in my life where I was spending so much time trying to do like the back end stuff and trying to figure that out and pulling my hair out. It wasn't ease for me. And I found somebody who it's total ease for, and she has so much fun doing it. And she's like laughing and smiling and like, hey, look what I created. And it's so cool. And that's something that she's so good at. But she was like, I don't understand why everybody can't do this. And didn't realize that she had a massive like ability and is such a contribution to me and everybody else's team she works on because it's ease for her and it's fun for her. So like, what is easy and fun for you that like you haven't even acknowledged because you've decided that everybody can do it or anybody can do it. So why would somebody pay you for it? And please get that like, it's not that anybody can do it and people can't do what you do in the way you do it because you're you. And so even if somebody else can do what you can do, they don't do it in the same way that you do it, which makes you incredibly unique. So just start to play with that. Today, make a list of all the things you love to do, the energies you love to be in, the places you love to play, and then just start asking for more of that to show up and how that can show up for you in business. And see what shows up. Maybe it'll just be an idea. Maybe it'll be something that sparks. Maybe you'll see how you can incorporate some of those things into the business that you were already doing or planning or wherever you're at with that. And maybe something totally unexpected will show up and it never shows up the way you think it's going to. So I think that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.